Let's go to Jessica from Indiana, who says, Jessica, you're undecided in this election. Tell me about that.
Well, I mean, I'm kind of undecided, but that's just more me being undecided because I really don't like either candidate because I'm so far left, and I'm
Okay.
undecided if I'm going to vote for Biden this year or if I'm just going to abstain.
And if you abstain, what would be the purpose of that?
I, my morals do not line up with obviously Trump or anyone out of the GOP or Biden or most of the Democratic Party right now. Even someone like Bernie Sanders, who's the most far left in American politics right now, even
Yeah.
he is saying support for Israel.
Uh-huh. Well, let's explore that a little bit. For example, on the issue of taxation, do you think that higher taxes on the very rich should be used to fund government programs? Is that a statement you agree with?
100%.
100%. Are you aware that your view on that issue is much closer to Joe Biden's than it is Trump's?
Oh, I'm very aware of that, and that's why I said I'm not sure if I'm going to abstain or if I'm going to vote for Joe Biden. Trump isn't
Right.
even on my mind about voting, but Biden is also so far away from my point of view that I don't know if I can find it morally correct to vote for him.
Well, let me frame it in a different way. And by the way, everything you're saying is completely legitimate. This is a matter of opinion and priorities, and everybody has a right. Let me ask you this. Morally, would you be okay if you knew you took an action that was more helpful to Trump becoming president than Biden? Let's make it abstract just to start with. If you knew Jessica from Indianapolis acted in a way that was useful to Trump and hurtful to Biden in terms of determining the next president, can you live with that morally?
Well, in one hand, I live in Indiana, but for the sake of the argument,
Yeah.
you're right. hmm
So, I
I
mean,
agree with.
it's not a question of do you agree? Are you comfortable taking an action that helps Trump defeat Biden?
Yeah, that's fair now.
No, but it's a yes or no question. Are you
No, I'm
comfortable
not.
with that? You're not comfortable with that. I think
No, I'm
that's the
not.
answer then morally as to what it is you have to do.
Okay, fair. And I
Yeah.
have one more question, and I'll keep it very brief.
Sure.
With how the Republican Party has been imploding on itself, with electing Mike Johnson to Marjorie Taylor Greene
Yes.
to the GOP debates as of recent, do you think this is, even though this might be terrible right now, and none of us want this, do you think this is going to benefit the left wing later on down the road?
You know, I'm cautiously optimistic that it will, but I'm not going to hang my hat on that. I still think the left needs to seek out victories on its own that don't depend on just Republicans hurting themselves.
How would they go about doing that?
Continue to make the case that some Republicans have been making, which is, hey, look at all of these advancements for labor under the current Democratic slate of candidates and Joe Biden. Look at the advancements when it comes to reducing the price of pharmaceutical drugs, when it comes to funding infrastructure. Look at all these things we've done while Republicans are just doing their own thing. Rather than engaging so much on litter boxes and whatever else the case, show all the things that have actually been accomplished. No president has ever forgiven as much student loan debt as Joe Biden has forgiven. There are really good accomplishments here. Run on that would be my advice.
Fair enough. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, Jessica from Indianapolis, great to hear from you. Let's go next to Kevin from San Diego. Kevin from San Diego, welcome to the show. What's on your mind today, sir?
Hey there, David. Yeah, I was just calling. It's a lot of people are calling in about, important issues and all of these things. I actually wanted to kind of confront you on something that is personal to your show and your stuff.
Okay.
Um, so your book, right? Your kid's book that you had there. I haven't actually read the second one, but I
Well,
got the
yes,
first one.
there's Think Like a Detective and Think Like a Scientist, both bestsellers on Amazon. Incredible.
Well, yeah, and that's great, and I congratulate you for that.
Thank you.
But I don't know if you changed this for the Think Like a Scientist book, but in Think Like a Detective, I believe all of the images that you used were created using AI.
Yeah,
And
they were. So basically, we created a template, used AI to place the template in certain situations, and then did our own edits to the images. So it's like we created them with AI assistance, we would say.
Okay. So I'm just wondering why you didn't want to like commission an artist or artists to assist you with like the creation of the book, because like AI art is kind of a major thing that really impacts the especially the independent art community, people who kind of a decent amount of their income comes from taking commissions and having small projects that they work on regularly.
Totally legitimate question, and I'm glad to answer it. Basically, I am completely supportive of that path, and I think that it is a great thing. For us, the important things were doing this in a way that it didn't end up costing us money out of pocket, and number two, getting the book out relatively quickly. We spoke to artists who expressed some interest in working with us. The prices they wanted to charge would have made the entire thing a cost to us, which we can't afford to lose money on it. And most quoted us 4 to 6 or 6 to 8 months to turn over the artwork to us. And it's just a timeline that would have made the entire thing non-feasible. So we made the call that, listen, what we're trying to do here at the end of the day is get the story I wrote out in front of our audience as quickly as possible at a particular time where the issue of books for children is in the news. There's a demand for this sort of thing. There's a utility to it. Getting it out like around election time and spending it, for us, we decided to prioritize getting it out and getting it out quick over some of these other things. And people can disagree with that. I'm fine if people say, hey, you know what, David? I don't buy it. It was the wrong thing to do. That's perfectly fine. That was the call we made, and for the reasons I said.
I would say that for your initial book and possibly even sort of the second one, that could be a reasonable consideration, everything. But at this point, considering that you have seen a lot of interest in the books, you've seen that the sort of series works well, you've seen how everything is worked out, do you think it might be time to switch to the, let's say, more ethical version of creating the art for the book, that actually using actual artists instead of the AI creation process?
I would be glad to explore that. And if there are artists in the audience who want to chat with me about it, please email in and we will explore it. I mean, I'll just tell you, the third book is about halfway done, and we're looking to publish it in roughly 2 months. And the fourth book, which is going to be Think Like a Voter, planned to be published at a very specific time in the context of the 2024 election. If people can meet these deadlines at a cost that is logical for the small nature of what we're doing, I'm glad to explore that. Absolutely.
Well, I certainly hope it can be done. I'm not personally that much of an artist. I'm kind of trying to be an advocate for the art community. So
right.
A lot of them are very incensed about AI art and what's going on with it. So
understood. All right, Kevin from San Diego, thank you so much for the call. We're going to take the quickest of breaks, and then we're going to keep chatting with people. So if you're holding on to talk to me, don't go anywhere.